to ban the camps from sidewalks, parks, and other public areas. So after years of denying the problem, he's now pretending to fix it, which is like putting on a condom as you're leaving a whorehouse.
Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass have already proven their incompetence and poor leadership during the Los Angeles wildfires. Now, as we experience rampant lawlessness and civil unrest, it's never been more clear California's in a state of turmoil. And I ask my fellow Angelenos, why are Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass still in office?
Gavin Newsom just got folded like a cheap lawn chair by an Aussie fireball and the king of sarcastic smirks. No, this isn't some Netflix buddy comedy. It's the unscheduled demolition of California's slickest salesman. 3 things didn't survive the night Gavin's ego his script and that fake aura of cool. Mel Gibson and Greg Gutfeld didn't just roast him, they turned him into a cautionary meme in under 5 minutes flat.
Mel, any message from you to Governor Newsom or Karen Bass tonight?
Spend less on hair gel.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is now calling his city's homeless encampments unacceptable, which is odd since he's the guy who, made them acceptable, turning sidewalks into red carpet events for drug addicts, thieves, and unemployed CNN anchors.
Before we dive in, hit that like button, because trust me, you don't want to miss this roast. Greg Gutfeld is what happens when late-night comedy stops pretending it's balanced and starts swinging sarcasm like a wrecking ball. The man is caffeine in a suit roasting hypocrisy while smiling like he's reading bedtime stories. He doesn't just tell jokes, he peels smugness off politicians like duct tape. Gutfeld's not here for bipartisan chuckles. He's here to leave egos in confetti piles.
Phony. I'm totally weird. Gavin's hands. It's time for Gavin's hands.
Welcome to a new segment called Gavin's Hands. He keeps his hands in motion and his hair full of lotion. True, Gavin's views may be idiotic, but his hands moves, well, they're hypnotic. California Governor Newsom's new podcast is out. It's available wherever fine hair care products are sold.
Remember French Laundry while California was choking on smoke and power outages? Gavin was sipping $500 wine underground with lobbyists. People started whispering conspiracy theories about fire setups and accidental disasters. Mel Gibson didn't whisper, he practically turned it into an X-Files episode with punchlines. The man was sifting through ashes like Sherlock Holmes with a flamethrower. Subtle, no. Entertaining, absolutely.
I can make all kinds of horrible theories up in my head, conspiracy theories and everything else, but it just seemed a little convenient that there was no water and and that the wind conditions were right and that there are people ready and willing and able to start fires. And are they commissioned to do so, or are they just acting on their own volition? I don't know. But they seem pretty well equipped, some of these people that they're catching.
A lot of questions. A lot of questions, Mel. Mel, a message tonight.
Yeah, I'll sift through the remains of my place and see if I can find any clues for you.
While regular Californians were told to mask up like extras and Contagion, Gavin was clinking glasses in a Michelin-starred bunker of hypocrisy. Gutfeld didn't just highlight the dinner, he dissected the mindset that thinks rules for the rose for me is leadership. Newsom's unofficial slogan might as well be sacrifice for the people, but pass the truffle risotto. And Greg carved it up with surgical precision.
Ponders why Dems lost.
We lost the popular vote and we lost the electoral vote. We got crushed. And we need to be humble about that, and we need to have some grace, and we need to understand why. Was it because of the incumbency penalty? Was it because of inflation? Was it because of interest rates? Was it because of immigration? Was it because we were too, quote unquote, woke?
Kennedy, I think the answer is yes. Was
it because of Israel? Yes. Interest rates? Yes. Too woke?
Gutfeld basically has a running segment dedicated to Gavin's cosplay routine. Roll up the sleeves, pretend to be blue-collar, then spend weekends at Napa Vineyards where the nightly rate equals a Californian's monthly paycheck. He nails the parody Gavin as the Bond villain who vacations while lecturing you about sacrifice. Perfect hair, perfect teeth, perfect disconnect weaponized as leadership.
Or their destructive decision-making masquerading as leadership are we going to tolerate?
He's absolutely correct.
I loved every moment of that, and I need to do that now too. I want to be on your show, but with my arms crossed and very, very serious. I wonder where he filmed that, because he wasn't in his own house, because his house burned down. This is personal with Mel, and it should be personal to everybody in Los Angeles.
This isn't just about vanity and hypocrisy. Gutfeld shreds the illusion that Gavin even cares about solutions. His playbook is photo ops, not results. Wildfires blame climate change, pose with ash. Housing blame capitalism, then sign a law that fattens developers. Gutfeld skewers him. With that slow clap comedy, the Emperor not only has no clothes, but also a stylist and PR team, making him look GQ ready. And if Greg's the scalpel, Mel Gibson is the Molotov. Enter chaos wrapped in leather.
As the only current living Gavin Newsom impersonator, do you think after this riot fest, he is still an option for 2028?
Yeah, he just has to keep, he thinks he's going to charm people over by just kind of agreeing with them. He'll start every sentence, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. They'll make a point. He has people on his podcast. They destroy his point of view. I appreciate that. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to have a look at that.
Mel Gibson doesn't do polite, scripted, or safe. He's Hollywood's exile turned chaos prophet with zero patience for smug elites in tailored suits. Once the golden boy, now the wild card with a flamethrower for an opinion, Gibson sees in Newsom the perfect targeted politician who governs like he's filming a cologne ad. Mel doesn't throw shade, he launches bricks. And Gavin's shiny head is the dartboard.
On Rogan's podcast, when I guess you learned that your home had been lost.
Well, I didn't learn it was lost. I knew the neighborhood was on fire, then I was in the path, so I was a little tense while I talked to Joe, but he's a guy that can put you at your ease fairly well, so I was doing okay. And I knew that my family was safe and out of harm's way.
Were you able to get possessions that, of course, are really immaterial when you have your family, but I've been to your house. It was an incredible home, beautiful home. But were you able to get anything out of your house?
Not much. A few necessary things. My son I said, just go and grab this and this and this. And he grabbed like 3 things and took off. And then, those are okay.
Mel doesn't just call it fake, he detonates it. His rants are chainsaws through talking points, raw, jagged, and impossible to rehearse. Rising crime, tent cities outside luxury condos, politicians posing as saviors, he calls it like it is. Next to him, Gavin looks like a wax figure with a teleprompter. Gutfeld slices with logic, Gibson burns with chaos. Together, they turn Newsom's PR stunt into kindling.
Gavin goes full douchebag. Jeff, while J.D. Vance was visiting Disneyland with his family, Gavin Newsom criticized him on X, writing, "Hope you enjoy your family time, J.D. Vance. The families you're tearing apart certainly won't."
So stupid.
Do you think he really meant that?
I don't.
When he said enjoy it, I don't think he did.
Greg comes in with jokes. Mel follows with a flamethrower. And suddenly Gavin's polished theater starts looking like amateur improv. When a Fox News prankster and Hollywood's unfiltered maniac both sound sharper, then the governor, the act is done. Social media blew up, memes, clips, flame, emojis everywhere. Headlines popped like Colonel's Gutfeld mocks Newsom's fake governance, while Gibson goes nuclear on his Hollywood fakery. It was a demolition derby, and Gavin's face was the hood ornament.
Yeah, I do think he's given a lot more credibility because his son is a firefighter out there. His son is fighting these fires, so he does have some inside information and some intel. But, I do believe that the majority of people believe that this is on the government. According to Fox News, Gavin Newsom cut funding for wildlife and forest resilience by more than $1 million just months before these wildfires. Mayor Karen Bass initially tried to cut from the LA Fire Department's budget $23 million in 2024, but settled for $17.6 million in cuts.
Gutfeld wasn't nibbling at Gavin's narrative, he was slicing it thin like deli meat. Pointing out the absurdity of pretending fentanyl zombies just need subsidized condos, while Mel Gibson hurled verbal grenades about tent cities' crime and chaos. Liberals squirmed, conservatives threw party, centrists grabbed popcorn. Even the apolitical crowd got in on it with that perfect, well, this is awkward share. People are done with fake empathy. Done with choreographed tears. Done with leaders who bleed Instagram filters instead of credibility.
Who made it acts like he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It's pure government grift, shoving you down a flight of stairs and then making you pay for the handrail. We've been lied to for years that homelessness is all about affordable housing. Fentanyl isn't the problem, it's that loan officer at the bank. Yet as we walk to work, we never saw families or kids, just men. So strung out on fentanyl, they look like they were playing Twister without a mat. Affordable housing won't change that. Give them a house, they'll burn it down when they pass out holding a crack pipe.
Greg brought the scalpel sarcasm sharp enough to cut through hair gel. Mel brought the fire rage wrapped in Hollywood PTSD. Together, they didn't criticize Gavin, they dismantled him. The man who normally monologues like an audiobook on equity suddenly turned into a buffering GIF. Reporters asked questions, he responded with word salad, climate buzzwords, and Botox-assisted blinks. Silence has never been louder.
And meanwhile, the same day that Mel Gibson says what he says there, and he's correct on so many things as far as the management of wildfires, Gavin Newsom's approval on the handling of the wildfires is only 30%.
Wow.
Gavin Newsom announced that he has a podcast that he's about to launch. When you have a finely tuned machine like California is right now, where you have the highest poverty rate in the country, highest taxes in the country, you have 10 cities that have their own zip codes, and you have fire hydrants and reservoirs that don't have water in it, this is justified. And Gavin Newsom, remember, just last year we were talking about, will he be the Democratic nominee? Then you ask Californians. 7 in 10 Californians right now say that Gavin Newsom should not run for president, like ever.
When you're image-obsessed, being mocked by a leather jacket lunatic and a smirking late-night assassin isn't just embarrassing, it's exposure. Gutfeld, the intellectual prankster. Gibson, the burned-out prophet. Both ripping the mask off a governor whose job is to look like he's fixing things. Politics turned into a Netflix reality show where leaders hire lighting crews instead of solving problems. Greg and Mel didn't just pull the curtain, they set it on fire.
A far-left Dem runs for national office, he acts like a Republican. This is where the left is really pro-trans. Suddenly, they grow balls. So Newsom is fed up with tent cities, the crime, the urban decay? No, he's not mad about that stuff. He's mad you noticed. It's like a criminal telling a jury he's sorry he robbed 25 banks when he's just sorry he got caught on the 26th. Because this isn't some spontaneous crisis. It's a man-made disaster like Chernobyl or Fox and Friend.
Let's be real, when the Fox News Joker and Hollywood's Mad Max Reject are the ones making the most sense in the room, it's time to rethink who's running the show. Because here's the punchline: sarcasm and chaos just exposed the truth better than Gavin's entire PR department. And suddenly that polished hairdo starts to look less like leadership and more like the world's most expensive crash helmet.